Alrighty.
There we go. Good afternoon, everybody. Will I be moderating the chat today?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So we went to the park. Well, I went to the park, and when I went there, I literally, at first, I saw nothing, and I was like, I messaged Matthew, and I was like, we were supposed to go back. I was like, oh yeah, there's no point in coming. I think because of all the snow and it melting because of the warm temperatures, they can't do any construction. But once I got home on my laptop, there's so much, and I mean a lot.
Why didn't we go back?
My drone wasn't charged because I wasn't gonna go back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mine.
and we can hardly get it. Like a lot of it, you can only see zooming in.
Right.
The most interesting thing is yesterday we saw them building that bridge, or I guess like putting together that bridge over the Whitewater Canyon area. Today, let me see.
There's a lot more work that's being done. Like,
oh yeah,
Rider ground doesn't even look the same, and there's a lot of stuff in the park that's being dug up. That whole middle section of the park is under construction. That's
okay.
What the conclusion of.
I paused it here. So right here near Mindbusters turnaround, you see those tall trees?
Yes.
Let me get my. Oh, it's not a presentation. Behind those trees, there's a crane.
Yeah. Okay.
And I looked. There's no track there.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, maybe they're actually unloading the track. Maybe that's where they're putting the track piece, because I could not find where the track piece was.
Okay.
But there's a small little crane. There's a bulldozer, and there's a bunch of crates, like wooden square crates that they were like unloading, and it looks like they're getting ready to do something over there.
Okay, so what do you think are in those wood crates?
Probably construction equipment, like bolts or whatever. I mean, that's what we saw arrive on Skyriders Plot of Land first too, right? We saw those wooden things over there. It's usually like their equipment, or like tools and stuff like that.
We've got a question here. Does Wonderland contact you about keeping quiet on some things? I don't really know.
No, not really. Like they'll like, for example, they don't want us flying over. Whoa, what happened?
They don't want us spying in like the west side of the park.
Yeah. Well, they don't want us on the west side at all anymore. That's all they've contacted me about. Just stay on the south side, they said. Here, I love that I just like fast forward to here. Okay, so here's the bridge I was talking about. You can hardly see it because it looks like it's covered in snow right now. It also looks like they're not done building it.
How big is this bridge?
It looks like big enough for vehicles to cross. I could be wrong though. Remember, I'm like really high up in the air, so a lot of the times perception is like way off. But also what's interesting is if you look in Timberwolf Falls,
yes,
you have dug up areas all throughout it.
Which
so remember yesterday
right?
What?
Which could be for footers.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably what it is for. And you have them digging footers right next to Timberwolf Falls, where we originally thought the lockers were going. Again, I've given up on that source.
Sorry, what? Sorry, what did you say? You cut out there.
So here they're digging footers like right next to Timberwolf Falls too. Today.
Yeah.
What's really interesting is I'm really high up in the air, right?
Yeah.
Do you see the? They now have like things in place along the outside of this tunnel. You can see it now. They have like, looks like pillars, like whether it be. Don't know what it is.
Yeah. I see something. I see something. I don't know.
They're like little cylinder, whether it be wood or cement or metal, but they're like holding this, I guess, the wall of the soil in place from like collapsing it. And it's so deep now, you can hardly see it, but there's a little tiny arm of an excavator that you can't even see.
How do you see this?
I zoom it, like, again, like I like check out this footage like in depth before I like come in. But the zoomed in pictures are so bad quality, I don't post them.
Right.
Again, they started bulldozing again from this area over, which is weird. So they're keeping this area like visible to the
No, they
construction crew.
haven't gone into any of that area near the drop of vortex in that whole other section of vortex.
They won't.
Yeah,
They won't.
right there. Isn't that all open though? Wasn't that all meant for the coaster?
No. This is their like firework watching area. They won't touch that. If they use this for the coaster, there would be nowhere to watch fireworks from in the park. I was
Okay.
surprised that they even went over here. Now
So,
today,
Where do they launch fireworks from exactly?
right here, the splash path.
Sorry, where?
You know the giant pathway in front of Splashworks where Skyrider was?
Yeah.
Yeah, they launched them from right there.
They could easily move it to the front of the park in the parking lot.
That would be so chaotic. They could just start doing them above the mountain, so then you can just see them. But I mean, like, that's up to the park. I personally can't see them touching it, but there is a fence now surrounding this area, protecting this area. I don't think they'll touch it.
Okay.
You can see really strong pillars right here too, 2-footers. You can actually see them clear as day today because the snow's gone. It's 1, 2, 1, 2. So that's probably the Immelin loop or dive loop, whatever they choose.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the drop. I'm assuming it's going to drop down in because the deepest point they're digging is right in the center of Vortex. So I'm assuming it's dropping down in between Vortex's turnaround, Helix, and then coming out, dive, Immelin, whatever they choose, and then going wherever they want. I mean, we now have stuff over here. We have stuff over by Whitewater Canyon, which is super weird. And they're back to here. They were back to plowing this and leveling this dirt over here now. That's what they were doing
Wasn't
today.
that all dirt from when they did the Skyhawk build?
Yeah.
Skyhawk?
Yeah. So there was a guy just like leveling it today. So it's just all so weird.
I wonder if they're just leveling it because they just want to make it look nice.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, right. We're getting close. So I again,
General maintenance, getting ready for opening.
yeah, Vortex training is April 13th, the weekend of April 13th. Cough. So Vortex training is supposedly the weekend of April 13th.
But how do you know that though?
Matthew.
Okay, yeah.
So that means we kind of have a time frame for when like they got to wrap this up. That's probably why. I mean, like they look like they're getting ready. There was a cement truck going back and forth, pouring something in there. So maybe they were as deep as they need to go. And because there's something I can't see what that is. There's like a weird. It looks like wood from where I am, but the cement truck was pouring cement into that.
Okay. So you said that they training for Vortex starts on April 13th. That's approximately 2.5 weeks before the park opens.
Yeah. So they have to have the tunnel done. They have to send that weird cage thing or whatever they do for this ride. Most rides, they send like a thing to feel any rough edges to make sure the ride's put back together properly.
I don't think that they need to fully have the tunnel finished. I think they need to have the general shape of the tunnel finished.
No, they need to have the tunnel done because there's a support that goes on the tunnel.
Okay.
Like the tunnels, see there were 2 supports removed here.
Yes.
So and the supports would go where the tunnel is.
Oh, so they just have to bolt those back into the footer.
They're probably going to build footers on top of the tunnel for the Vortex thing.
Oh, they're gonna have to pour new footers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they would have to.
Question from Anthony. What if it's another ride from the Mindbuster area? RMC question mark. I don't think so.
No, so. It seems to be all connected. So right, it started off here, so we kind of had like an L-shaped construction path, right? Just like this 3/4 of Skyrider's Puddle Land. It's now turned into. There's a lot of digging right here in Splashworks. We now have digging in Timberwolf Falls. We have a bridge set up in Whitewater Canyon, and a bunch of us. Remember yesterday I was saying our construction equipment was arriving?
Yes.
Well, I now know where it went. It's over in Whitewater Canyon.
So, Velagio, I just want to mention that we do know for sure it's B&M. It's not that most people are saying it's B&M. It's confirmed B&M because there's track on site that's B&M track.
Yeah, and again, I keep forwarding to the best parts. They're keeping this little area plowed for some reason.
Which one?
This tiny little part of the parking lot where they normally store. Remember, they stored the water slide pieces and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, so it's that I find a little strange.
Okay. What was I gonna say? Do you think that that whole area where they're doing construction right now may not even be, if this is going to be a wing coaster, do you think that that area is nowhere close to where the station will go?
No, the station. So I watched a video on Valraven and Gatekeeper. The station is always the first area they do construction on.
Okay. That's with most coasters. That's
Yeah.
with most coasters. But
Yeah,
in this case, they may have had to do it the other way around, just because they have a ride that they need to open in the construction area.
Yeah, I also have a theory, by the way. I came with a theory at the parks. They're building a new structure behind the action theater where they have a haunted house permanently.
Wait, sorry, say that again.
There's like a metal structure you can hardly see in this picture, but right here where my mouse is, they built a metal structure.
Oh, I can sort of see it. Yeah.
Yeah. They have a haunted house in the action theater right now that takes up literally half of the action theater. I have a theory that this isn't for Winterfest. I don't think it's storage for Winterfest anymore. I think that might turn into a permanent Halloween structure for a house, and they might have plans for maybe 2020 to retrofit the action theater similar to California's Great America.
Okay.
Or maybe that number we heard that there might be 2 attractions opening in 2019. Maybe that's the second one.
Sally Dark Ride ?
What? Dark
Valley
Ride? Valley Dark Ride?
Sally Dark Ride? New Sally Dark Ride?
No. It would be something to do with the action theater because it's already designed for it.
They don't really use Sally isn't like a big name anymore. Not a lot of parks.
No, they're getting bigger.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. Sally did all the rides for Six Flags.
Oh well, of course they did all the Battle for Metropolis, but they need. Have they been like? I guess they do have the tech. They're upgrading their technology now, but I haven't really seen or heard of them in a while at any other parks except for Six Flags.
Yeah, Bellagio, it's definitely B&M. Like at this point, there's like no arguing that it's a B&M. I mean, again, like it kind of links together. You have construction starting right over here. So like, it's funny. You see how like in this video, there's no crane?
Yeah.
And then as I'm leaving and driving, the crane was arriving and lifting things off, and it got the bulldozer that was arriving.
I have a really, really stupid question.
Yeah.
Go back to the frame you were just on. Okay, so you know that little area behind Mindbusters, behind Mindbusters, turn that big open space that
Where?
you were telling me about, like go up above it, right beside the highway. There's that big open space with all the snow in it.
Oh, that's the water storage area for Whitewater Canyon.
Is it?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a giant. It's like a giant pond.
I was gonna say maybe that's where the station for a potential wing coaster would go.
No, it's way too far away from a path, and it's a giant pond.
Okay.
The station's definitely on Skywriters plot of land.
Okay.
Yeah, like I mean, like I would be willing to. I'd be a betting man that it's on. I'd say if anything, if this ends up being a wing coaster, this would be the turnaround.
Oh,
So
really?
do an Immelin, it would head over here, turn around, maybe launch a second time if it's a launch to get it back to the station. I don't know.
think it's going to be a launch because, like you said, Cedar Fair doesn't want to mess with any launch.
Mm-hmm. Remember that person from Holiday World reached out to me and said that they had 0 problems with Thunderbird because
Right.
of.
And that was fairly new technology. B&M did not manufacture that launch.
No, from what I understood, that was B&M's first launch that they actually did manufacture.
Oh,
It was Hulk that they did.
so it was B&M. It was a B&M produced launch.
Yeah, I believe so. That's my understanding. And B&M said that they wouldn't put out a product anymore if they didn't think it would work. In that
Right.
last interview that they did.
Or I think it was RMC's or the RMC launch coaster where they didn't make the produce.
Yeah, they did.
Do we know who made that, or was it like?
Nope. Trying to. So that was me trying to get my bearings again. Yeah. So here. So it's extremely deep. I know that. I can't tell how wide it is from in the air, right? But it just doesn't look wide to me. Like it
So
doesn't.
we got somebody saying my comment on Instagram about the flyer going near the 400 could be right.
It's
I
not going to be a flyer.
No, I don't.
It's
think
either going
so.
to be a dive or wing or some sort of new style coaster.
I honestly think I'm either okay. These are the three options, but these are the two that I find the most realistic. I don't really think it's going to be a wing coaster. There's a good chance it's going to be a wing coaster, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's either going to be a new model B&M, just based off of the track that we see and the sort of the bottom of it, the spine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or it's going to be a dive coaster. That's what I like a new a
Yeah.
world breaking dive coaster that goes a record breaking distance.
Remember, there are the rumors of them rebranding the Whitewater Canyon area into like a more themed area. So maybe what we're seeing in the Whitewater Canyon area could be that. Maybe they're just going to add theming to Whitewater Canyon, right?
From past CW Mania events, even the park's general manager said he loves a B&M dive coaster.
Yeah.
Was that Norm who said that? Would that have been Norm?
Dave usually does those.
Yeah, but it says general manager.
Oh, then yeah, it's Norm.
But Norm doesn't seem like the guy that would ride a ride.
But yeah, like I mean, if you look, it's turning into a massive site. And I mean, we're still like 1 year, and I can't even. How many more months until April 2019, right?
And you know what was funny? About 2 weeks ago when I approached you, it's been 2 weeks now, they were barely doing anything.
That's what I'm saying, right? Like we were reporting on like slight moving of soil like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And now, the only problem is, see this, you can see kind of like dark figures here in the forest. That's a haunted house.
Sorry, where?
In the Whitewater Canyon forest.
Yeah,
It's a very popular haunted house.
Isn't that
But
cool?
yeah, Cornstalkers. But that doesn't stop them from building a coaster throughout there. I mean, they're definitely doing something. Like, why would they set up a bridge in the winter, right?
They should build a new area in the WWC forest.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be a new area just because the queue line for Whitewater Canyon goes in there, the haunted house goes in there, and then potentially this new coaster could just have some support beams in there. I can't see them really. I could see them following the forest. I can't see them going into the forest for some reason. They would have to remove a lot of trees for that, especially if it's a wing coaster.
They have so many rides that they can they could get rid of flat ride, like old flat rides, and like make so much space. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think they'll ever get rid of flat rides because that's how they eat people, right? That's how they get like people through their lines.
I'm saying like you know, like how much like a flat ride that takes up a lot of space is like the jalopies or whatever they're called. The little cars. You know how many other flat rides they could put in there to substitute for that one ride?
Yeah, I mean, eventually they could do that, but I mean, if Kings Island is adding those, I think the park or the chain doesn't have any interest in removing them.
And they're very easy to remove.
Yeah, but they're pretty popular attractions for families and kids.
Well, you keep one of them, but they have two of them in the park, don't they?
Yeah, they have a train and then they have a car.
Yeah. Why do you need both?
Yeah. Steam train ride.
But those don't have capacity. That's the thing. Wonderland is looking for capacity. Those don't have capacity. How many?
Also, not a big enough park for a steam train, really.
Okay. Let's see any other questions here. I'm not seeing any questions here. So, oh, we got a question. Maybe the bridge is for vehicles to get across Whitewater Canyon rather than driving all the way around. It's possible.
No, because it's a random forest.
Oh yeah, it's a forest.
It's a random forest that literally leads to a queue line, so the trucks would be stuck. I can't tell yet if they've been. See this little white patch here? I can't tell if they've been removing trees slowly. I can't. I can't tell. All I know for sure so far is there's digging now inside of Timberwolf Falls. The tunnel is super. So right here you can see the top of the excavator right here. See the yellow?
Yes.
Like that's deep. That's a giant digger that you're just seeing the top of. That's the claw too.
Yeah. Okay. Here's a good theory. Do you think they don't open Whitewater Canyon for the beginning of the season and they continue to do construction in that area?
It never opens at the beginning of the season. It opens like end of May, I think, middle of May. And
whole season, like they're gonna close this thing
no,
down.
no. They could do a lot of that work come October, September. They don't
Really?
need to. Yeah, they will never close it. So that ride's super popular in the summer. They would never.
Well,
I mean,
they
I can't
closed
guarantee that.
a flume ride once before. Or
That was due to technical difficulties.
okay.
Yeah, they never closed it for like there wouldn't be a purpose for it, right? They built Val Raven in 6 months. 6 months. That's why I'm like, why 1 year and 7 months is this coaster being built?
So there's a chance that CW will remove Timberwolf Falls. Was Timberwolf Falls the ride I was trying to speak about? Though, which one's the log flume? Timberwolf Falls.
Timberwolf Falls is the log ride. If they were gonna remove it, they would have already removed it.
Yeah, Timberwolf Falls. I don't think is going.
They wouldn't be doing the construction in here in around it if they were gonna remove it.
Removing Whitewater Canyon would open up a lot of space, though.
But Whitewater Canyon doesn't really take up any space, actually, if you think about it, because they can build anything above it, around it, in it. It's in the ground, right? It doesn't take up any height. It doesn't. They can do whatever they want in there
But
without ruining
that
it.
whole circle being taken out, filled in, and all those trees coming out.
They did say that they don't like removing trees from the park.
Okay.
Yeah, they said that whenever they do anything, they try to. I mean, like even look here, they haven't removed any of the trees around this construction site. Most parks would have just like removed all the trees, bulldozed the land. Even the small little trees that they planted a couple years ago before Skyrider was removed, they've kept them along the path.
So why are those trees being removed on Major Mac?
So I think I have a picture section. Yeah.
If an excavator can't fit in the hole, how wide is the excavator, and can we use the wideness to compare the dive train or wing coaster or wing train?
So I can't tell. The excavator is large. I mean, it's probably the width of like a dive train, not quite a wing train. I can't tell if it takes up the whole tunnel or just a portion of the tunnel, so I can't give you that answer. All I know is you literally can hardly see, and even in some frames, you can't see the excavator digging. It's that deep. And those things are tall. But I kind of knew that because it has to go pretty deep to go under the water and avoid vortex. Let me see if I have a video, a picture of. I'll go over that in a second. Oh, I didn't put the pictures of that was them leveling the mine bust area. Yeah, I'm just like, again, so much weird. The Timberwolf Falls area, and I didn't even notice this. The thing they removed the fence. Oh, of course, they removed like the fence area and the trees here because there used to be a decent amount of trees right here. I didn't notice that until today. Like the whole smoking area is gone.
Maybe they're looking to pour footers on the pathway and block them off with fence.
Well, they're definitely digging something, right? Look at all the holes. Oops. And the trees are all being removed right here.
It looks like they're getting a huge. It almost seems like they're renovating it, and it's gonna look a lot different in a couple years.
Well, that's it. So here, I'll go to that picture then. Of course. My computer hates me. So we have the tree removal here. You have the entire catering facility being upgraded here. You have this random plot of land that now belongs to Wonderland. You have the construction zone for this new coaster. You have this random bulldoze zone. You have construction vehicles and crane arriving here. I mean, that crane could be arriving to load the track pieces in, right? We don't know yet. Because it's a low to the ground crane. It's one of the ones that are just driven, that normally do all the low to the ground lifting for track. Oh, we already read that one. And then you have the random bridge in Whitewater Canyon. You have a new building being built here. You have the new flying canoes going here. The other new flat ride going there, and then the Wonder Mountain upgrade. I mean, the whole park is like under construction. And that's not even including Dinosaurs Alive being removed at the end of this season.
Yeah, so, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, a ton going on. A ton.
Go back to the picture. I want to see some other like areas for a sec. You know, if they could just remove that tent area where they do shows, that could open up a lot of room.
They would never. Ever.
But think about how much room it would open.
They don't need room, though. They have a lot of...
Could have a wing coaster going over the lake.
I think that would be way too expensive. I think if they were to do a wing coaster or a flying coaster, they'll remove flight deck and time warp and or an invert. So if it's going to be an invert wing or flying down the road, they would remove these two coasters and build it towards front gate so it interacts with Leviathan and heads back. And then it's a front gate coaster. It's almost like Leviathan and maybe the real Ziz down the road.
If Ziz doesn't open next year.
Yeah, Dinosaurs Alive is being removed at the end of 2018. The contract.
Where's Dinosaurs?
Dinosaurs Alive. See that little cement path right here that intertwines?
Yes.
That's Dinosaurs Alive. It goes really far. See it? It's like
so it's
super long.
They've just acquired that piece of land right behind it. They're closing Dinosaurs Alive. That screams resort.
Yeah. So you just hit it on the dot. That's where I think the resort's going. They build a highway exit here. The resort takes up this land. Why else would they get this land part of theirs, and then they're going to use it, right? And they're putting soil there, so maybe eventually they're just going to flatten this whole area with that soil.
You know, I don't see it would be very tight, like to put a highway exit in. I don't really see it.
They would have to, otherwise you can't connect. Where would the cars come in to park at the hotel?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Where would they make the exit though? Unless they they took it away. Yeah, they just made it. They just shifted the lane over a little bit.
Yeah, they would just have another exit lane off of this exit lane. Probably the parking lot would be over here next to HR, and then the hotel would be like here or whatever, and parking too.
It wouldn't be the most scenic hotel though.
No. But I mean, if you look at, my expectations for the hotel are going down now after Carowinds announced theirs.
Yeah. Do you think it's going to be a Great Wolf still?
I've turned into, I'm hoping it's a Great Wolf. I don't think it's going to be a Great Wolf. But yeah, just a lot of work. I'm like seeing if we can get. I think the most interesting thing is like them moving into Splashworks too.
Yeah, that's very.
I wasn't expecting that.
Me neither.
I mean, that's definitely where can I get a good view of that? So here's the cement truck going in. I could not tell what the cement truck was doing in the tunnel. I mean, they weren't even done digging the tunnel, and the cement truck was pouring cement into it. So I was really confused. Unless it was doing the walls and they had like, you know, the wood panels to prevent like just holding the cement in place. I could see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pouring cement while they were digging the tunnel. So I was like super confused. And then. So you can tell I had my setting on like sunny day here. And then I switched it to cloudy because it was cloudy, but I actually prefer the sunny day setting on a cloudy day.
You should actually have an auto.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So this is, see, it's all arriving. I forgot I got it. near the end, I kind of see the Wonderland truck turning in there,
Where?
and then
Oh,
the
no.
shipment truck, it was turning in there too. And then because at the time I was just like, oh, it just looks like typical stuff, so I didn't film it. And then I got the pictures when I was going home, and I like pulled over off the highway because I saw the crane, and I was like, oh, whoa, what the? I'm happy I got pictures because no one would believe me a crane was on site. If I was like, oh, a crane's on site, everyone's like, you need pictures. So at least I got the pictures.
So there's a crane on site. Why would they need a crane on site at this point in construction?
Well, it looks like the tunnel is pretty far along.
Oh, so they would just need it to put the track in the tunnel.
Yeah, it's the exact same crane that they use to lift all the low pieces on Leviathan in.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, what was interesting is there's like a aqua color right here. I couldn't tell if it's a support. See that like aqua color blue thing there, the cylinder?
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it's a support or not. I can't tell from that high up.
I don't think that's
that would be so ugly, so I don't think so.
That's like a bluish.
No, I did not see the new piece of track. In fact, I think it's probably under the catering buildings that we can't see. That or it's already in place. Like with the crane on site, maybe it's already down in there.
Or maybe it's just not here yet.
No, it's here. I mean, it coming from Ohio. I mean, unless the guy took a rest stop for like 12 hours.
Very possible. Who knows?
No, it's here. To deliver from, it's like a 4.5 hour for a truck, maybe 5.5 hours, 6 hour drive max.
I think they have an extra lot like somewhere in the park where you just can't see it.
Oh, there's tons of like we can't film on the north. We were asked not to film on the west. There's a whole hidden area that I can't even see. I'm really interested in the Timberwolf Falls activity. Just because I have solid proof that now that something's going on in there. I'm really excited about that. Are there any more questions? No. Any question? If you bring back an old ride, what would it be? I miss the Great Whale of China. I don't know why. I just missed that ride.
What is it?
It was like a weird spinning boat ride. Like it was kind of like, how do I describe it?
Is it true that Wonderland had dolphins at one point?
Yeah, where Dinosaurs Alive is.
They had whales in there?
Yeah, no, I think they just had like sea lions and dolphins.
Did they go to like not SeaWorld? Were those the ones that are at Marineland now?
I'm not sure. Team Wing here. It's if it heads towards Whitewater Canyon, a dive coaster can't make it there and back. It can't.
I mean, unless it's a new model, maybe it's a launch dive coaster.
No such thing. That'll never happen. There's no point. I say that and watch like August, like introducing. I already feel like I'm gonna eat my words, and everyone's gonna be like, "You're such." And watch it be an invert.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I'm Control Alt deleting this YouTube and pretending none of this ever happened.
I don't think I will be able to film again.
Oh man, I'm just This is it's getting really confusing. All I know is we now have an evident wall. I mean,
who even knows if this roller coaster is going to open in 2020 now or 2019? Like
it is.
I know, but
I mean, if you look at it from here, that's pretty wide. See that pillars
area
and the pillars.
Perspective, that whole area where that black section is the tunnel.
Yeah, this whole black. Well, almost the whole black section. They soil. Your biggest thing are these two cement pillars for the Immelman loop or dive loop, whatever the element they go with there. Again, it's so weird. It sucks that there's two sources too saying two different things. Like one source is saying it's just a dive coaster with some unique elements, and then the other source is saying it's a wing coaster with a lift hill though. and it's just going to do the same thing Gatekeeper does, and it's going to do the like it turns over upside down and then dives down into the tunnel, and then back out through an Imolen loop, and then back towards Skyrider again. Like, so I mean, like, there's two different sources. None say launch.
I love how we're still calling Skyrider like as if it's there.
I know, right? I just want like see all these parks that come out with this like cool like dark epic music videos to promote their rides. I just want Wonderland to do one great campaign, like one like Leviathan's campaign wasn't good. Behemoth's campaign, it was non-existent. It was kind of like posters that were like how high. I mean, actually, I think that was Windseeker, but we haven't had a brilliant teasing campaign for a ride yet.
I think that what they did with Valraven was great.
I think what Cedar Point does for anything is great. I mean that guy that does, I forget his name, Tony Clark. Sorry, he's just brilliant. I mean, you can already see Dave is actually doing pretty well already. I mean, the fact that he's teasing even slightly is good. We're like a year and 6 months away, so I mean that's like I can't complain about that.
One obvious tease to set the tone.
They'll start that in probably, I'm gonna guess they'll start teasing in June or July. Maybe June because of me and what I've done. Probably July for the general public. I don't know. I mean, we'll probably see subtle like tweets here and there. I mean, like the whole tweet about Leviathan and Behemoth like are a little weird to me.
Maybe you'll get a few DMs.
No. They they have a whole marketing team for a reason. I'm annoying to them.
Hold on 1 second. Let me pull up what Wonderland posted today. Do you know did you see what Wonderland posted today?
Yeah, it was just a construction pic of Behemoth, and it was like our first B&M coaster back 10 years ago, something like that.
But they named B&M like,
yeah, they were like back. This was our first B&M coaster and the tallest coaster in Canada back in the day.
Yeah, but not every day do they mention B&M in the actual post. You know what I'm saying? They said the first B&M, like Leviathan's the second B&M.
Yeah,
maybe they're saying that.
Yeah, there's definitely like subtle hints here and there, but I mean, you can't guarantee these are hints all the time.
Exactly.
I just find it weird timing, right?
Right.
But I guess the most exciting thing is it looks like the walls for the tunnel are now about to be poured or whatever. They got the cylinders in place all along the side of it. You can see them if you look very closely. You have two excavators inside that you can't even see. You have one excavator up here. You have a dump truck there. There's a cement truck that was pouring cement. You can't even see it. I just want the snow to be gone. Because, I mean, like, these two cement pillars have been here, like, the entire time. And because the snow is there, we didn't notice them.
So when did they officially break ground on this project? Last year, right? No.
No, first week of January. It was, like, January 8th. January 8th or January 12th. One of the two dates, I forget.
But they actually started prepping
the ground. They started... No, they started prepping the ground first week of January. They put stakes in the ground last week of September, but that's all they did. Remember, I started flying my drone really early, and we couldn't see anything, and I almost gave up. I remember there was a time around end of November where I stopped for like a good 3 weeks checking in on the project, something like that. Like I just stopped, and eventually someone told me something about Vortex, and then I went up and flew, and that's when I was like, oh, wow, Vortex is being disassembled.
Really?
Yeah. Trying to see if there's any, because I hardly viewed the footage, so I'm just trying to see if there's anything. Sometimes there's stuff that you miss. Like, again, the footers are all over the place, that it's just like, I can't predict the layout. Yeah, can't. They're just everywhere.
Didn't Dave already started Leviathan
Yeah, that billboard tweet was definitely a hint. I'm sorry. I don't think it like led us towards a specific type of coaster, but it was definitely like a cute little just like fun tease. You have to understand that teases don't always lead us in the right direction. The park will tease to lead you in the wrong direction too.
At first, you thought Vortex was getting a retrack.
Yeah, so the reason I went and looked is the whole rumor was this section of Vortex was actually being removed. That's when I went and flew up my drone. My source had told me this section of Vortex is being removed to be smoothened out, is what I was told.
Smoothened out, not retract though, because this company.
No, you can't retrack it. No. So I was told just to be like almost like sand.
This is a what? Who built Intamin built this, right? No.
No, it's a company that's no longer in business.
Okay.
That's me. Occasionally, I like check to see it to make sure I'm off property and not drifting towards property at all. I'm pretty good at that though. Yeah, see, there's an excavator with the claw fully extended.
I thought for a second the bridge that goes over the mine buster
was gone.
No, I thought the frame was part of the wood structure that was missing track. I was like, oh my god, what are they doing there?
What's cute is you see this old car here? There's an old like car right there.
Oh, I can see it.
Yeah, it's really weird.
I think that's where the executive offices are.
No, the executive offices are on. There's a couple. There's HR, and then there's some buildings on Main Street, International Street.
I don't think Dave works out of HR though.
A lot of from when I worked way back in the day, they all did.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. We'll wrap this up though soon because it's getting like too dived into.
Yeah, we should save a lot of this stuff for our main podcast, like the one that goes like 2 hours.
Yeah, we'll save that for Sunday. I mean, when I go up tomorrow, there's definitely going to be.
Am I coming with you tomorrow, or?
Sorry?
Am I coming with you tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow I have plans later in the evening, so I go early in the morning.
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna go on the weekend now. You can come on the weekend. I just noticed that there's cement trucks back in there. I didn't see that in my first take. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Any other questions before we Dave works at Wonder Mountain?
See if there's any other questions. Dave works out of Wonder Mountain. LOL. Yeah. I have heard rumors that there's offices in there.
No, there's like for the old. I remember when they did the eruption from the mountain. There's like a weird like I think they actually removed it. It's not there anymore. There used to be like a small little like control office in there for that show. That was really cool. If there was one show they could bring back, that would be my choice. The eruption was the coolest thing they ever did.
What was it?
It was like, so for example, at close, the lights in the park would start flickering and they'd start playing like earthquake music. And it actually made it feel like there was an earthquake. So it would be like a lot of bass. Yeah. And then fireworks and red lights and all that would just erupt from the mountain.
Oh, that's really cool. And there's an old control room for that?
I don't think it's there anymore. I think it was removed. I could be wrong, though.
It was probably removed to accommodate the control rooms for Wonder Mountain Guardian.
No. No, it was on the top of the mountain. You could like see it from like standing on the bridge. It was a small little building. Like it was almost like the size of like 4 porta potties together or something like that.
Oh, then it's probably gone.
I will never accidentally fly over. The last thing you want to do is piss off Wonderland.
Yeah, and if you do, that footage would have been deleted.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. We'll wrap up.
All right. Well.
Oh, the stream is titled "What's in the Forest" because there's weird activity kind of going on in the Whitewater Canyon forest, and then over to the other end of the forest at the very end of Whitewater Canyon. There's some construction activity. The Canadian Sasquatch is in the forest. So, Rob Ford, I'm joking.
Oh, come on.
All right, we'll wrap it up.
Hold on 1 second.
A shed. That was the whole pun. I'm glad someone got it. I was doing a pun on what's in the shed. Hold on 1 second. Did you die?
What?
What are you looking? Are you seeing something?
Me?
Yeah, you said hold on a second.
No, I was just trying to figure something out here. A Google Hangout.
Oh, the soundboard.
No, it's not a soundboard. I can see a pen underneath you in the corner there.
I think that's edit, and then you can like.
No, but there's like a little pen underneath. You can see a little pen.
See, I can't go look because then it like shows like this weird like alter universe, like where it does that weird.
The trippy thing.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up. The video, for anyone that just joined or joined halfway through, the video obviously goes right onto the YouTube page right away, so you can watch it again.
For sure. All right.
Awesome. Have a good one, guys.
Have a good one, guys. See you on Sunday, right? Yeah? Is that the next time we'll be on?
Yeah, we'll be on Sunday.
All right. See you guys then.